It's the weekend, which means it's time to relax, to sit back and just enjoy ourselves, not think too hard. So what better show to help facilitate that than Date A Live? There are some things going on, but it mostly revolves around how long Shido's body can hold out before it becomes both physically and mentally exhausted. And as we saw previously, there's still plenty to go around. With Toka as energetic as ever, and as distrusting. Every now and again she needs a little top-up of reassurance. Or as do we all. So, let me know that you're still out there watching. Let's begin. And of course, Origami being quite lucky, only receiving a slight punishment, getting let off quite easily with her suspension there. And with him being such a bigwig, being able to have sway like that. Why don't you remember your boss? As long as that's a good way of looking at it. I have only met my boss like once or twice since I started. So, understandable. But also, is there something else going on there? Because like she's saying, I don't remember. As long as I get paid, I don't care. But is there some other things going on in the background? Something that might not be so easily uncovered, maybe? Like some memory manipulation. Is he even meant to be there, or just kind of waltzed in and everyone says, oh, yeah, of course, you have clearance. Considering Date A Live and its world and what people can actually do, wouldn't surprise me. But also, I would really like to see the other characters and what they're capable and up to. The friend from the school being one of them. But also, Yoshino. Is she going to be a bit more than just kind of backing, not set dressing, but kind of ancillary to the rest of it? She hasn't really had much impact on the story other than when she first kind of appeared and was captured. Children of the Storm. We got a scene for all of 4 seconds before, several days ago. Perfect reasoning. That, I mean, how can you fault it? It is current year. With Origami being okay with this change? Why? I mean, Toka being closer to him. What? Is she about to steal the idea and join? What? Don't let them go start. Excuse me? Oh, I see. You got to balance out the numbers. And if Toka's going male, then it gets her out of the way. Strong, independent man. And did she just call her a bitch? For once, Shido's standing up and being like, what the hell are you doing? Give up on joining his room and just be content with sitting next to him. How she managed to talk them down. Okay. I mean, a free trip, all costs covered. how could they turn it down? Just why would they be DEM? But why would they be so generous as to want to agree to paying for it all? So they can keep a closer eye on them and what's going on. Also, Toka, look at me. I want to have next to this the Windows seat. I want this and that, and then immediately ignoring it. Look at the carpet. The carpet. See, you don't need clouds. You don't need the outside world. And immediately accosted. To be fair, if it is an expensive camera, there probably would be someone that is quite interested in it. Crescent Island. How long was the journey? Because Toka gave up on the window seat quite easily. And this is just like a really big pool. Just don't drink the water. Well, much like you wouldn't do in a pool, but... Could it possibly have anything to do with the one with the camera? Is she still being annoyed by those girls? Also, with so many people around, there obviously would be an eye or two on them. And another organisation claiming stakes on her, wanting a bit more info, overviewing. And they're not entirely sure. Is she looking for Shido? Can't see why she would be kind of lost and standing back there. A museum. Okay, kind of standard. Really, they just have no interest in history. My honey. Rather than stay with the group where they can have some sort of protection with everyone else, nope. Rush off by herself. Also, is no one going to do a roll call? No one notices that two of them have just kind of left. She's not going to be able to hear any of the orders that she was just given. Who would have thought that her biggest adversary here would just be those three? Bandersnatchers. We're getting some folklore naming conventions. So we've got DEM secret organization keeping track of them. We've got his group that is trying to guide him into perfect outcomes and keeping everyone safe. And now we've got weather phenomenon. Oh yeah, and there's also origami and ASTs and whatnot that are out there. Perfect. I mean, well, if one doesn't work, just keep smacking away. Someone's not going to be able to do their recycling. Why is it needed to have her unconscious? That's a nice light show. Right. I mean, one way to appear is from a bolt of lightning. even if they are kind of scantily dressed. Oh, that is nice. The convex winds going around them. That's not the word I was looking for. Also, I like that we're flipping back to Yoshino and she's enjoying watching the TV. But is that all she's going to have in the way of impact on this whole shenanigan? Good for him. Yay! I agree. Try and help out, but they haven't been exactly useful so far. And she's off. He's a little too pumped for this. Ha ha ha. So they're not here and to go after Shido or anything? They're just having a bit of an argument amongst one another? Sturmlands. I see these are some rather animated characters. They're a bit... Well, he doesn't even know. They were off for a while. Well, you should know by now, whenever you want something to sound cool or mysterious, you use a little German. Ridicule. But the wind's picking up once again, and with Toker still completely out cold in the back. I mean, their little fight there, not thinking about who might be caught up in it. But Shido to just stand up in the middle of it and go, "Oi, what do you think you're doing? Knock it off." Without a backup plan, or without any plan at all, actually. Schattenlands? I mean, she has so many weapons at her disposal, how would you actually remember all of them, obviously? The back and forth between these two... It's not going to give up, is it? If they're so evenly matched constantly... One aspect of which we've yet to decide. Oh no. It requires the intervention of an outsider. This case, Shido himself. Everyone's really drawn to him, aren't they? Let me guess, is this a classic way of just introducing some more characters to annoy him? Also, Origami being completely open and honest there. I don't care about anyone else. Just Shido. Yes, necessary music for this seduction. Necessary music for this. Good question. Extremely rushed, yeah, mainly because no one knew about this 42 seconds ago. How quick can they push through the paperwork? What, and they're just allowing this? I mean, they've got enough spanners thrown into the works that he has to put up with. This is why you should never leave the group when you're on a field trip. You never know what may happen. So one of their last greatest duel, the bout that will pierce the heavens themselves. Who would get Cheetah's attention? I mean, he's got enough on his plate as is. I mean, they're not really giving him much time to process this or let up at all. How is Tolka going to accept all of this once she's awake? Good question, actually. Just happened to slip their mind, but is it actually going to be something interesting? I kind of expected to have a dumb backstory around it. She's still watching. But a spirit that split in two, and they will... One of them, at least, will cease to exist. So they're seeing who would be the best choice. I mean, they're fairly even. Kendama? I mean, that's a very useful ability to have. Yeah, I mean, the whole dueling, see who's the best. If they split and recombine, of course, they have to... One of them will have to give up. Unless there is a true merging. But then how would that play out? How can you even out these two personalities? It's like the left and right half of the brains, really. One's more logical. I mean, there are others stronger than them that have tried. That's one way to break through to them. I don't mind helping one of you. It's a good way to get them both to do anything, really. Just play to their egos of who will win. Nice. With only a few lacerations to the forehead from the steel cans. They really... No one's catching a break here, are they? Her greatest adversary just being 3 schoolgirls, not letting her do her job at all. Oh no. We all know where this is going. Just... I mean, did you really expect them to leave him alone in there? I can see no way of how this will go badly. I mean, it's good that it's before the opening hours, but how long is that going to last out before someone else tries to run in? I am so grateful for getting away from that camera angle. Oops. So, you need a handicap here. They are so hell-bent on their rivalry with one another to outdo each other that they're ignoring their prey right in front of them. I'm not sure how I feel about her referencing herself in that manner. Uh-huh. Why did the music stop? I don't think it was that bad. There have been worse attempts. So their bitter duel goes outside the bounds of reality. They're just mocking each other for the sake of it. Tear them down to the core. What are we going to get now? Great. She missed. It's floating out into the atmosphere. Someone out there is going to be very happy. I mean, even though they are relatively... Please don't... I thought she was about to go out and prove it. But even though they are relatively similar, both in their... biological makeup. Does she need to start every sentence with a fatso? Rather pointed with these. Come on, Cheeto. Speak up. What's his preference? Make it known. Slightly stronger odor. Perfect. We got someone that can interrupt this moment. Why would they be worried? Of course. Did they, swap the signs or something? Make it... At least she's happy. Also, is she a YouTube comment section? A correct response, actually. The red curtains, yeah. Those monsters. The classic. So, better than them all being in the men's bath, but that's what she's upset about. She wanted to be the first one to enjoy the waters here. Well, how tall is the fence? Can he just hop it? Oh, Toka being understandable and reasonable here. Useful. Is she actually going to be able to get him out? Interesting crab walk across the water. Oh no. Interesting flailing. Yeah, don't look over here. There's bath snakes. Quick, look! A distraction! Well, there's embarrassment or death. It seems he chose the preferable answer. Just like that. Our hero was no more. End of the show. We can wrap it up, go home. Fair response, I guess. Rather than, you've had a rough day. Well, at least they're on standby instead of being pulled right out into the action. How long is this movie? Or is she just watching them back to back? Yeah? No? What? Well, at least he had a line. Might not have had any impact in the actual episode itself, but sure, go for it, little Yoshinon. But the school having, once again, there's a lot of transfer students. This school is very popular. Is no one's going to question it. How's the rest of the class going to react once they have the twins turn up and be part of it? But also, yeah, Origami and Toka having more rivals for Shido's affection. Not that I think these two new are really going to think twice about Toka and the others. Interesting attire. But so many organizations out there that are keeping tabs on and or interfering. So many more spirits than we originally anticipated. And of course the one of like Clockwork Time origin. What does she have planned? As far as stories go, this is incredibly dumb. As far as Data Life stories go, well, it's top tier. But seriously, having an introduction to more characters being thrown into the mix here, pulling them straight out of the weather phenomenon and lightning itself, quite impressive way to start it off. Then they dragged it down a bit by having their constant battle and not really care about the surroundings or anyone else that might be pulled into it. In fact, actually dragging Shido into it because, he's a better judge of character than themselves, apparently. Let's put the very nature of our life and death, our potential erasure from this world, into the hands of someone we've only just met. What could go wrong? Also, I do like how Toka is so understanding and reasonable, like with the, oh shit, you're trapped in here, other than the initial shock. So, oh, you're not meant to be in the bath. Okay, I see. It was just misunderstanding. Here, let me help you out. I think if it wasn't for the multitude of times something like this has happened, where she's jumped into a situation and misread it, she wouldn't have acted quite this way. She's learning not to jump to conclusions, although this one might have been somewhat warranted, considering that he has got two girls hanging off of his arms. Not going to question that one? No? Okay. I see the knocks to the head have dislodged something. I really do question this show sometimes. And then again, some of its storylines and stuff that it's trying to impose on us, just why bother questioning it? Just sit back, enjoy the multitude of interesting shots and scenes that it's going to throw at us. If we already had Toka and Origami at each other's throats, finding one way or another to try and outdo each other, to try and one-up them, now having these two twin mitosis beings do their exact rigmarole, is it going to be a little too much? Or is there going to be some crossover and interplay and they help each other out in certain ways? So yeah, which camp are you in, really? Are you going to go with the somewhat memory lapsing Chuni, or one of the Misaka sisters? It's a tough choice, honestly. But at least they're not, out for blood and wanting to tear down the place around them. If we've got more spirits that don't seem to have any impact on space quakes, the world around them, don't want to cause any certain amount of damage, only by accident, by the constant back and forth and fighting, are they also going to need to be affected by Shido's ability? Or in doing that, are they going to go and be one again? I don't know where it's going to try and go with it. All I know is it's going to be very difficult for him, and we're probably going to laugh somewhere along the way. So, if you have enjoyed this episode, and no, can't think of a good segue. If you've enjoyed this episode, let me know. Leave a like and a comment down below. Consider subscribing. After everything I've seen in anime, I think I'm going to stay away from open-air baths. Get some rest. I want to see you for the next one. I know that my patrons aren't exactly fighting over me, but at least keeping my channel alive and allowing me to watch more anime where I get to see someone actually being cared about. So, I need to thank Noku, Sal, Guado, Kite, M.O, Ruben Filamawa, Wolfie Sensei, and everyone else. For if it wasn't for all of you, I don't think anyone would notice if I wandered away from the group